appropriate planning techniques and tools in business decision making. So, natay lima diri nga 5 steps in decision making. Hindi pa yung goals na yung definition kay this may sound like no-brainer for personal goals, but for business goals, the more stakeholders, the more likely like your goals are going to be misaligned. Yeah. Sa kaning isip ko na itong balikon, identify your goals kay kuhan, pangitaan mo ang imong goals. So, mauna na. Sa step 2, gather relevant information, dire ka magsugod og decision. Wait, say pa?
Continue lang eh. Ata, i-post lang na.
Dire sa step 2, gather relevant information, dire ka magsugod og researching sa imong bulatonon or work to inspire or to support sa imong work. Yeah. Sa step 3, evaluate the option. At this point, decision makers must yield the evidence. Dire na ka magsugod og decision making sa imong work. So, arito sa make your choice. Ug asa ka ganahan o kung tabol ato ka. Wala na. Nga, sa last step 5, evaluate your decision. This includes both short-term and long-term evaluation. Nana diri ang imong final nga decision sa imong work. So mao naman to ang 5 decision making para makasabot mo. Igahan ta mo example. Dito natin example rito duha basket o construction site. Nya sa basket ano ta diri mag-base sa step 2. Kung naay resources nasa information. Nya sa resources sa basketball naay kanang shooter or rebound. Yeah. Sa information sa basket kay sa shooter kay pikatag og points sa kanang maka-score. Nya sa rebound kay mo mo handle sa kanang tanan nga player sa manuwaay. O garito sa ikaduha, construction site kanang sila na i-base na to diri sa isipto ug nasa resources nasa sa information ug sa resources kay nasa measurement of materials nga sa information sa katong construction site nasa sa permission nga tig pala tig trabahoon o finishing. So ari na sa mag-base sa step 3, evaluate the option sa kaning basket nasa duha shooter and rebound. Sa construction site mag-ari ta mag-base sa evaluate the option na ay daghan nga buhaton nga like magpala, mag-finishing or tigbuhat. Naari na diri sa mag-base sa make your choice. Mangita na kagasa computable ato nga work nga tig palaba ka or tig buhat or finishing nara na nimo nya ug ari sa basket pili ra ka ato asa comfortable shooter ba or rebound mana siya nga sa Step 5, evaluate your decision. Sa kaning 5 nga final, balik ta sa step 1 and identify your goals. Kaya mao na to ang final nga imuhang goals. Tools and techniques. First, decision matrix. A decision matrix helps you evaluate all your option of a decision. Nga sa ikaduha, T-chart. This chart is used when
No, waiting.
the pluses and minuses of the options. Sa ikatulo, decision 3, this is a graph or model that involves contemplating its option and the outcomes of each. Sa ikapat, multi-voting. This used when multiple people are involved in making a decision. Sa ikalima, Pareto analysis. This techniques is useful when many decisions need to be made. Sa ikaunom, cost-benefit analysis. This technique is used when weighing the financial ramification of its possible alternative to determine what makes the most sense from an economic perspective. Sa ikapito, conjoint analysis. This is a method used by business leaders to determine consumers' perfect preference when making decision. Sa ikawalo, SWOT analysis. SWOT stand for strengths is making decision. Ay, baita. Sa ikawalo, SWOT analysis. SWOT stand for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats, which is exactly and his planning tools assist. Sa last, PEST analysis, an acronym for political, economic, social, and technological test analyze can sa last, PEST analysis, an acronym for political, economic, social, and technological. PACE can improve decision making and timing by analyzing external factors. Arita sa decision making policies, a formal decision making process can also prevent your company from being guided by policy of and the result of gut decisions or a lack of planning. Kaning decision making policies kana nang mga gipang himo sa o gipang sabot sa ilang business nga mga failed or mga sayop. So mao na niari ta sa employees based practices. While financial decisions can be with objectively, unfortunately there's no economic model for morally guided decision making. Kaning employees based practices mao ni ang kanang sa business nga mga base silang gipanghimo silang matrabahante, mga angay ba sila sa ilang trabaho, sa ilang business nga magpagayon lang kay maayo or kanang good sa ilang pagkabuhat sa ilang bluhason sa usa ka business nga ikaw ang kanang tag-iya sa kanang nga business. Mana?
So, I'm gonna report about the non-monetary decision-making tools and techniques. So, these techniques is not involving money or not relating to money. And this kanang monetary decision-making tools and techniques is this will make easier for you to choose option based on their qualities than their financial impact. So first is the Pareto diagram. So Pareto diagram is this one is one of the simple method especially if we need to fix issue or find beneficial opportunity faster. So this technique is based on 80-20 rule. It means that 80% of the issue or opportunities that comes from the causes 20%. So defining what the issue or benefits could be important. So there's an example of the Pareto diagram in the screen. This is a example of a Pareto diagram, and there's an example also for this method. And this for example is we are a software company and need to decide to how to improve our products. For that reason, we can make a questionnaire survey with our customer. The result go into the Pareto diagram. So as you can see in the Pareto diagram, mas taas ang performance issue after the questionnaire survey sa mga customer. And then, also, the bug is also an issue. So, but the system is usable, it is dili siya overpriced, and good support team siya. And so, Pareto diagram is support about taking decision to improve the importance of take action sila sa performance task. And that's the Pareto diagram. Next is the cause and effect diagram. So, cause and effect diagram is known as fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram. It is called fishbone because of the structure sa diagram. And this diagram is one of the best decision-making tool. And there is an example in the screen about the cause and effect diagram. For example, this is the example of the cause and effect diagram, and as you can see, kaning square is the problem statement, and this kanang orange nga categories, the categories of the causes, and this category is na measurement, material, method, environment, manpower, and machine. So every problem you're gonna find the causes on this category, and that's the example of the cause and effect diagram, and that's why it's called fishbone diagram tungod siyahang structure. And this method it helps you to find the root of the cause of the problem, and it used to identify, explore, and visualize all the possible causes nga relate to the problem. But there are some typical types of bones depending on your business. So the next is the 5M in industry or IT. This is the 5M in industry. So kanin sila kay nagya po ni siya sa cause and effect diagram, but this is the conjugate focus na 5. And I'm gonna give an example. For example, if connected po ni siya sa cause and effect diagram. So for example, if you're having a business and your business is tea shop or milk tea. So for example, if one day kay ang customer nimo kay nireklamo nga batik king tea nga ning pud ang customer nga pait kayo, na po isa ka customer nga bugnaw. So that will cause terrible tea. Nimo na siyang terrible tea. So that terrible tea is the problem, and we're gonna find the causes. So ang causes niya kay using this i-category na to using this 5M. So For example, if sa machine, maybe the tool or equipment kay kanang old na or kanang dili na mugana. And next is method or process. Maybe the kanang kuan, maybe the techniques is or the method is wrong, or maybe the kanang recipe kay complicated jud kayo muna na ingato siya. And next is the material consumable or information. Maybe someone instructed wrong material, so mo to na ingato siya. Next is the manpower, physical work or mind. So if maybe the person na nagbuka sa tubig kay na overheat, mo to na ingato ang lasa sa tea, dayon maybe the person kay na distracted niya, mo to na overheat siya. Next is the measurement. So maybe gamit siya sa measurement kay paspas kayo, or kanang nagamit siya kanang mali guro nga tables kanang measuring tool ay spoon, and wala man diri tong environment, so I'm gonna include the environment. If maybe the kanang rainy weather makes the tea cold. So after finding the causes is kanang you're gonna find if asa maka preventable. So if preventable, you're gonna mark it with C, controllable. If ang causes can detectable, so you're gonna mark it with X. So X is experimental. And if dili siya ma-predictable or detectable, you're gonna mark it with noise or N. So C, ang controllable is you need some you're gonna study it, you're gonna control it and prevent it. So the experimental is you need to more on trial and error. And the last one is ang noise is you're gonna protect it. You're gonna protect it the thing dili madali ma-cold tungod sa kusog sa rainy weather. And next is the Big 8 in marketing and sale. So I'm gonna basalong nako niya, explain nako. So this Big 8 marketing sale, or I called it the Big 8P in the marketing and sale. So the first is the product and service. So the product should fit the task consumer want it for. It should work and it should be what the consumer is expecting to get. For example, kanang mag-Shopee ka niya. Kung say naa sa imong gi-display mo puti maabot sa customer. And kanang dapat kung expected jud mo jud yung expect niya ang service po. For example, maghilot ka, mo jud kung ighilot nimo mo puy kanang kuan sa customer nga hilot jud siya nga dili jud kanang grabe jud kayo nga kuan. And the next is the second is place. So sa place, the product should be available from where your target consumer finds it easiest to shop. This may be the high street, mail order, or the more current option via e-commerce or in online shop. So place. So dapat imong place kay daghan kay mga ginataw. For example, a bake shop, maybe dito ka sa kanang mga dapit sa mga highway or dito sa mga balan kay kanang daghan kay mo kaon og kanang dito pangoro kung bake shop ka dito, or kanang sa online mamili ka kung asang mas daghan mo order sa Shopee ba or sa Lazada. And the third one is the price. The product should always be seen as representing good value for money. This does not necessarily mean that it should be the cheapest available. One of the main tenets of the marketing concept is that customers are usually happy to pay a little more for something what works really well for them. So dapat kanang maghatag og price sa isa ka product, dapat good value siya, dili kay siya taas, dili pud kay siya low. Dayon fourth is promotion. Advertising, PR sales, promotion, personal selling, and in more recent times, social media are all the key communication tools for an organization. These tools should be used to put across the organization's message to the correct audiences in a manner that will most to hear, whether it be informative or appealing to their emotion. So, kanang the promotion is kanang advertisement. So, ay advertisement dapat kanang more advertisement kay dapat maka-connected sa emotion sa tao, and if that product kay maudyoy ka ng kuan jud sa advertisement, sa imong advertisement gabot expected nimo. And then the fifth is the people. All companies are reliant on the people who run them, from frontline sales staff to the managing director. Having the right people is essential because they're the part of your business, offering the products, service you are offering. So, mangita kag people nga maka-rely jud ka ba kanang dili jud ka kanang traidoron jud ba niya kanang di kanang ngita jud kag people nga trusted jud nimo sa imong business. So, if kanang person nga nagipon sa imong business nga dili jud siya maka-rely, if kanang dili jud nimo siya i-continue, kanang imo jud siyang kanang siguro suryaan mo or i-fired. And next is the sixth, the processes. So, processes, the delivery of your service is usually done with the customer present, and how the service delivered is one again part of what the consumer is paying for. So, magkuan ka, process ka, delay, and kanang on timing siya. And 7 is physical evidence. Almost all service includes some physical elements, even in the book of what the consumer is paying for is intangible. For example, a hair salon would provide their client with a complete hairdo, and insurance, the company would give their customers some form of printed. Kanang kuan in your business is good for have kanang evidence, and this kanang makalago jud sa imong business if naadyo ni siya. And the last one is the productivity and equality. So, this PS is what you're offering to your customer a good deal. So, this is less about you as a business improving your own productivity for cost management, and more about how your company process this onto its customer. So having this kanang kuan productivity and quality kay kanang having this kanang good qualities kanang makahimo good deals sa imong customer, and that's the big P8 in marketing and sales. So the next is the control chart. So control chart is kanang mo pinaka-interesting diagram, and there's a example of the control chart in the screen. Here in control chart is you can see is kanang ang zero nga line is mo ni average niya nga kanang line, and as you can see ang control chart has a upper limit and down limit or mean. On the diagram we have example of a process with a range. So this control chart is in order to decide if a process is within predefined range. It is a process out control of the manager should investigate and find a solution. So kaning control chart is kanang mo na siya mo detect or kanang mo alert siya if kanang ni control na siya, na control na siya sa ato limits, and that's the control chart. So the next is the flow charts. So flow charts is one of the most of the popular ang flow chart and very common na magamiton. I heard that kanang ako ang uncle kay kanang nag-computer program siya niya. He always use the flow charts because kanang helps him to in the computer program. There's an example in the screen about the flowchart. As you can see on the flowchart, so this flowchart kanang nakita nimo sa screen is kanang different siya og shape because it has different steppings. So kanang this flowchart is kanang really shine when you have a process with step and decision in. These diagrams really help to define all the decision which will be made in a process under consequence. The most important entities in flowcharts are start, step, decision, exception, then end. Then flowchart is helped in many areas: project management, business analysis, industry and trade, and etc. So this flowchart is kanang step by step siya na kanang step by step siya to kanang solve the problem. And kanang this kanang flowchart is kani simple ra ni siya, pero napod jud ni siya pinakadako pa jud na flowchart nga taas jud kayo nga mura na siya document na jud ni siya. And this step is kanang hindot kayo kay tanaw nimo if kanang step ba kay unnecessary ba, or that's kanang progress kay need to improve pa niya ingana more and more. So that's the flowchart. So that's my report today. Thank you.
At ang topic aron kay scatter diagram o statistical sampling. So ato siya start. Paganta mag picture para makasabot mo sa angkoan sa scatter diagram. So kana siya, kana nga picture, kana to siya i-discuss. So what is scatter diagram? Scatter plot or paranas lang tawag. So x and y graph ang correlation chart. Nakita mo anang linya nga color red, kana akong gilinyahan nga arrow. So ang arrow na kay line of best fit. Nya kana ang arrow nga black sa taas kay salary. Nya kanang ubos nga arrow kay years of experience. So kana mga x, kanang yellow x, kuha na sila. Magkuha na sila kanang x kay mo na correlation, dapat di sila magbungkag kanang kay naman sila relation. So di sila pwede magbungkag bro. So para na sila connect. Ang when to use a scatter diagram, so kana siya. So paired numerical data, dependent variable have multiple values for each value of dependent variable to determine whether the two variables are related, such as to identify potential root causes of problems, to determine objectively whether a particular cause and effect are related, to determine two effects that appear to be related, both occur with the same cause. So natagata mo example. To determine two effects that appear to be related, both occur with the same cause. And as for autocorrelation before constructing a control chart, so kana muna ang when to use scatter diagram. So tagata mo example na siya. Ang example na kay ice cream. Diba kita mo ang ice cream versus temperature. Scatter diagram ang ice cream shop. So the local ice cream shop keeps track of how much ice cream they sell versus the known temperature. Dili siya magka linya og tarong. So it is now easy to see that the warmer weather leads to more sales, but the relationship not perfect. Scatter diagram consideration, ang kana diya ang yung nakita nga picture is kana siya ang relationship kanang scatter diagram mo na siya ang kuan. So pag-assume nga that one variable caused the other na kay intelligence. So ang both may be influenced by a third variable. So kana siya mo na siya atong intelligence. Kanang when the data are plotted, the more the diagram resembles a straight line, the stronger. So if kung nakakay linya nga tarong, the more siya nga stronger, di ba? So kita mo ana niya. So di ba, stronger the relationship. So dako siya kuan nga nang, so kung sa love pa na dako siya salig ato niya kay stronger good kanang green flag ba kani siya ang muna siya atong scatter diagram nga no relationship. So kita mo na katag kayo sa mura siya dagang ikagkabit. So kay dagang man kayo nagkatag-katag so hindi siya matalog linya tanawa na forma siya kuha ka ng yung nga pahigda nya kanang kuan di na siya pwede relation di na siya pwede kay if kung imong business nga mo taas tapos ana sa kaubos inana ba nga di siya pwede ma-forma siya og kuan kanang di siya pwede relationship ba or di siya musod sa isa ka relationship. Diagram shows no relationship. Consider whether the independent has been varied widely. Hence, a relationship is not apparent because the data don't cover a wide enough range. Unya, katanata sa probability sampling. Ang sample contains a few members of the population. They were taken to represent the characteristic or traits of the whole population. Ang kanang a few members of the population muna tong kuan ni kana example para makuha ilang characteristics or traits anang of the kuan ng the population or whole population para para kuan alam mo na ato silang answer para ato sila ma-represent kita na sample contains a few members of the population. So atong purpose na kay kuan ta sila example kay kuha sa example sa ilang characteristic or traits of the whole population to represent. So, kanang characteristic or traits. Pasabot na ng word second to represent the characteristics or traits of the whole population. So, kanang sample contains a few members of the population. Kay kanay lang, di ba, kuan man, kanang ilang kuwanto lang example. So, ang kuwanto nilang example, ilang characteristic or traits of the whole population. So, ang answer na nila, or kanay lang gikuan, ang answer na nila kay, muna ila i-represent. Ikaw man ito represent nila. I-representation nila, kay muna na ito itong population. For example, like, kanang, kuya, anong kailangan mo like example? So, tagata mo example, kanang sayang nga example, so, like, kanang kuan, sa cities, kanang mga tana ka nila, so, before ka mo hatag, kailangan mo na ka kanang effort, or a lot of resources, kanang mabuta ka nila kuan, ba, kanang mga question mo nila, so, for example, na ato sa city, sa kuha ka mga 300 plus ka tao, unya, kuan, kailangan sa kanang 300 ka questions set kay di ba isa ka tawo isa man ka question inana ba sa atong kuan probability sampling. In probability sampling, every member of the population has a chance of being selected. It employs principle or randomization or chance. So ako na siyang ako na siya giputol-putol ba para kuhaan ako siya para sa na lang yung masabtan. Ng probability something. Kuan, nakay chance nga ma-select ka. So, kita ta example. So, sa barangay, yan ay contest. So, if kung duol ka sa barangay, dali ka ma-select kay kuan good. Naradyo ka sa duol good. Kay, naradyo kay chance nga ma-select ka nila. Kay, naradyo ka sa duol kay barangay. Pwede na ka lion niya. Pwede na ka kabliton. So, mo na siya kanang picture diha kanang duha ka buok. So, nakakita mo na number 1, simple random sampling. So, kita ka na kung gi-form mag-circle nga green. Yan ka ng dot nga red. So, ang pasabot na ng green, kanang green nga circle, kay mo na itong population. Ang red, kanang circle lang nga, kanang upat, or kanang tanan nga red diha. Kay mo na ito sila mahugog example. Tama na akong circle lang sa, kanang kita na akong circle lang diya. So, mga sabog nga. Kay kita ka ng mga red, kay mga sabog na sila kay wamsa nga nagtapok-tapok kay nagtapok-tapok sila tinagsakay man sila kanang mga sabog pero na magaway mo nya na siya adto. Nya siya ikaw diri o magaway mo mura ka mga sabog. So, ang tawag na kay fishball method. So naoy gisuwat yang fishball. Kaduha kanang systematic sampling. Awan nakabantay mo sa kaduha. Kay orange kay sila na. Orange kayo kaysa sa katong simple kuan sampling. Kay katag kay itong simple niya kani nga systematic kita ka ng mga systematic sampling. Nice kay sila baga kuan kanang nag-orange kay sila. Orange kay na pa yung mga linya kaya orange kay ilang kuan na ilang sample. Katong sampling, di ba katong sampling number 1? Katong sample, katong simple. Katong simple, katong number 1 simple kana. Di ba katagay sa kay mga sabog mo na nya kani number 2 kani systematic kay dili kay mga sila mga kanang mga professional kunuhay. So kay orange man kayo kanang nagsinabutay sila kanang sample ng systematic sampling kay kuan example kay student. So for example ang bunot niya kay 3 so katong 3 dapat na 3 every kuan so example kanang 3 13 23 33 43 or 53 basta ni mga 3 sa last sila matod sila ito apel sa atong study ako'y randomization nga na involved sa atong population tanan ang population nimo kay mabunutan so kanang number 3 so nakabasa mo na stratified random sampling so muna na atong pasabot nga dako na kayo ang population kanang kailangan na siyang i-half kanang isa ka grupo na nasa isa ka grupo para kanang mag-groupings ta tapos kanang 1 to 4 so pwede na siya na kanang tawag na kay strata na ang stratified random sampling kay muna ang kuan ang population kanang green sa nya nganang gi half na sila into 4 groups so kanang gi 1 2 3 4 kay mo na tawag na strata kay dako na kay ang population ng kuan ang atong sample kanang 1 2 3 4 so kanang 1 kanang gi kuan diya so magdepende na sila sa kuan sa study so para gud mag-groupings ta nya lahi tag study pero para kanang kuan para score so mo'y ka nindot sa stratified random sampling kay for example kana na mag groupings ta di ba kay kailangan man ang isa grupo kay na ay kuan kana nasa ilang topic tapos isa grupo na ilang topic yang katunong grupo na topic so if kung ang isa grupo na ay magka-different topic bati kaayo like ilarang gi discuss ang humanang discuss inana ba kanang ila na humanang discuss tapos ilan sa gibalik so puol la kayo paminawon dot sa stratified random sampling tapos lasa so amoy kanindot sa stratified random sampling kay every participation or every grupo kay equal sila kuan nang equal sila score if kung sakto ilang gi pronounce or ilang gi topic so para sila score sa every topic nila sa cluster sampling awan nakabantay mo sa cluster na siya kuan na siya laki na siya isa ka box kay kuan nga nang cluster sampling mura siya mapapresa sa stratified sampling sa pero ang kalahi lang sa cluster kay isa ra ka grupo or isa ra ka sample ay na ay sulod ang kanang ang uban mo ang kanang tulo kay walay mga sulod sa naway mga sulod so pasabot na way gamit so useless so kanang isa ka grupo mo na to kuan og tatong i-focus kanang na ay sample alangan na mag-focus ta sa walay sulod no sample ng cluster sampling so kanang gi 1 2 3 4 so mo na atong kung moadto ta sa city kay mo na atong district So, District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4. So, ang pangutana diya, kung ang district, kung asa ang district nga naisulod or naay mga sample. So, kung ano to sa number 1 or District 1, kay walay sulod. Walay sulod sa ang District 3, walay sulod. Ang District 4, walay sulod. Kung sa may nga ang naasulod kay District 2, na ang District 2 kay mo na siya to kuan. Ang researcher mo siya ang kuan og population. Ang kuan sa researcher if kung sa di ba ang District 1 kay kalam nagkuan ang ang kadako lang sa advantage sa researcher kay kuan, so like me researcher, so di na ko kailangan magbalin-balhin balin District 1, District 2, District 3, District 4. Kaya nga naman, kaya kung ko sa District 1, walay sulod. Kaya mo na, ang kadako nako kay, ang kadako nako advantage kay, ang District 2 kay, more na isulod. Ang District 3 kay, ang District 4 kay, wala na. So, kanang District 2, mo na to, kuhaan og mga sample, kanang mga population nila. Nindo sa cluster sampling, kaya di na kailangan balin-balhin ang atong sample sa probability sampling. So, ano na sa non-probability sampling? So, kana siya, kana akong ipakita niyo yung picture. Muna, atong non-probability sampling. Ako sa napasahon. Non-probability sampling. In non-probability sampling, not every member of the population has the equal chance of being selected. So, ang pasabot na, so, ang nindo sa probability sampling kay if kung nakasado sa di ba ang atong example sa probability sampling kay barangay man, so ato sa example sa diri, so ang non-probability sampling kay kuan siya kanang if kung naka sa barangay tapos nasa event unya di ba sa probability kay na kay chance nga ma-select sa ang diri sa non kay dili tanan nga na ay chance nga sila ma-select or sila mapilian sa event. So, mara siya kanang na siya kanang event na to sa barangay kanang fashion. So, dili tanan mapilian or ni appeal sa contest kay mapilian. So, example sa contestant number 1, contestant number 2, contestant number 3. Ang pilion na nila kasi contestant number 1, mo gali ang dili tanan ang probability or non-probability dili tanan kwaon. So ang if kung nata sa probability sampling, so kanang tulo ka mo contestant sila mapilian kay nagaslay chance gud nga mapilian sila. So mo gali kanang sa non-probability sampling, so isa ra, so more siya daog sa napilian sa contest. Kanang convenience sampling, selecting a sample based on the availability of the member and or proximity to the researcher. Mara siya mo na atong number 1. Tawag ito ang convenience sampling kanang nagkuanta nang pumipili tayo sa sample sa ability of the member or proximity to the researcher. Tawag nga convenience. Ito mga correspondence ng dool or something ng dool siya pagkuhan butang, so da siya itong mapili kuhan sa itong study. Kaya it also known as accidental. So if kung naa ka sa dool, dali ra ka mapili if kung nara ka sa dool sa event or sa something kanang kulang sila or so ikay mapili kay ikaw may nas dool. And opportunity or grab sampling. So ang second, ang purposive sampling. Samples are chosen based on the goals of the study. They may be chosen based on their knowledge of the study being conducted or if they satisfy the traits or conditions set by the researcher. From the word purpose or purposive, so sila tong sample sa atong goals of the study or based sa atong study. Mas so nice like ang atong researcher, so siya ang may dako kay pwede siya makapili based on their knowledge of the study being conducted. They satisfy the traits or conditions set by the researcher. The researcher katong na knowledge. So, we're talking about the education. Ay dako na kay sila kuan ba nang dako na kay sila experience sa knowledge or something nga mas kamao na kay sila ba ana. Kita sa atong goals of the study. Naay lain tao nga mas kamao pagod nato pero wala sa time nga mo gamit sa ilang knowledge para sa atong study. Or if they satisfy the traits or conditions set by the researcher. Patuloy na ta sa quota sampling. Ano yung quota sampling? Proportion of the groups in the population were considered in the number and selection of the respondents. Ang pasabot na ng kuan, ang quota sampling is proportion of the groups in the population. Drawing on kanang green. So ang pasabot na kay di ba na kuan kung maghimog circle dapat ako na siya tong ako para maporma siya nasa isa ka grupo so mao siya group kanang group 1 o group 2. O kita na mga ng circle nga akong circle lang diya. So akong pasabotan na kay if kung ako silang tungahon into 3 group. So ang 1 kanang 1 mo siyang tungahon into half. So kanang 2 3 half na sila. So kung sama kung tanong diga unsa mo pili di ba ang daghan. So kanang daghan so kanang respondents mo na ang red. So 1 ang group 1 kana sila respondent nga 1 2 3 4 5. So ang 3 kay naa sila duha. So ang 2 na sila 3. Meron katong isa ka topic na to katong sa probability sampling. So na siya ka different control si kuan. So if kung researcher ka na ka control sa kuan sa respondents. So kanang pwede na mamili ang researcher sa kuan if kung asa siya sa nga comfortable nga kuan group. Pwede ra magbuhat ang researcher if kung asa siya nga mopili sa respondents. Tawag nga quota sampling. Pwede siya magamit sa non-probability sampling kay pwede siya kuan sa respondents sa kuan sa into to the group para kailangan na buhatan ni researcher kay niya dagdagan kung pila ang example nga respondents. Last part ang snowball sampling. Participants in the study. Talking about the snowball sampling. Ang snowball sampling kay participants in the study were tasked to recruit other members for the study. So ang pasabot ana problema lang nato kay ang Pilipinas walay snow. Muna di siya matawag snowball. Kay ang kanang patag na snow sa. So maghimo ta kana mura siya landscape or so mura siya kanang pahigda. Pahigda siya. Nya once kay man pahigda siya so pwede ka magbuta nga gamay kayo nga ball or maghimo ka nga small ball kayo. So kato nga snowball so di ba ang if kung mo siya ipahulog kay ana man siya kadako. So once ana man siya kadako kay mo anam siya kadako mo na ang kakuha sa snowball nay kana ang kuan snowball sampling task to recruit other members for the study. So mura siya snowball lagi kay if kung ikaw ra isa paanam ka kadaghan if kung ganahan ka mag lihok if kung ganahan ka mag effort og maayo nang kailangan ka mag mag-study og mayo para mo daghan yung mga members niya kailangan kag mga knowledge o if kung mga question nila nga nang ni-appeal sila na para modagan yung mga members so mura siya group to kuan mo siya nahimo siya group kay paano man siya kadaghan so mo na atong population pasabot ka ba example so pasabot na di ba if kung na ako'y hulmigas mag-recruit ko og 3 ka buok hulmigas Unya, kanang tulo, ako na sila pangutanon. Hulmigas number 1, hulmigas number 2, hulmigas number 3. Ako mag-meeting me. Ako na pangutanon sila nga, pag-record mo og lain. Nya, for example, kana si hulmigas number 1, mo record sila 5. Nya, si hulmigas number 2, mo record og 3. Nya, si hulmigas number 3 kay na record siya 5. O, so pila na ilang na-recruit? 13. So ako lang i-add. So amo may total na kay 17. So what if kung ako lang suguon sila tanan kanang 17 ka buk hulmigas, ako lang suguon na pag-recruit mo laing hulmigas. So usa na siya tawagan na mo na to population. So for example, 17 ka buk naka-recruit og 100. So kanang 100, so na koy 117. So ako lang suguon ako pag-recruit na ako pag-recruit sa naglain. O gulmigas. So, mo na nang happen. So, snowball sampling. Kay paana, bisag ikaw ra isa, pero if kung kamaugali ka, paanam ka kadagan. So, mura siya guild. Kung ikaw ra isa, ka member, so ikaw ang leader. So, mangita ka, isa ka player, nga, mo recruit o kanang isa ka member sad. So, katay mong gina-recruit nga member, so mo na to siya ang co-leader. So, once gali ang co-leader mo, tawag gali o kanang Muna siya matawag first division, second division, third division. So once katong tulo ka mong division, mag-recruit to slag member. Slag member. So paano siya kadaghan. So mura siya guild. Naka-forma og katong member or population niyo or members niyo. Mo na to ang kuan sa example sa atong sampling or katong snowball sampling, paano mo kadaghan. Kung maghisgata sa snowball sa. Kaya for example, bali, if kumaga mo makasabot, ko kanang email, ang tagiya si Monton. Unya, si Monton, nagduwa siyang duwa, or naghimo siya duwa nga, makasabay, nya, ito yung duwa, dili pa kay siya nga, dili pa kay siya nga, famous gud kaayo. So, kanang isa ka tao nga, niduwaan ng Monton, so, kanang isa ka tao, kay naganahan man siya sigduwa, so na siya best friend nga i-recommend nga games. So katong nga games nga yung giduwa siyang best friends kay pwede do niya i-recommend na sa laing mga others or laing others people nga if kung sa magduwa na. So mo na siya gitawag nga snowball kay
Wording for today is monetary decision-making techniques. We all live a material world. So, making decisions based on their monetary impact is something normal. There are many monetary-based decision-making tools and techniques, and here I will explain the most popular of them. Benefit-cost ratio. If you need to make a decision and make you some alternatives, the most simple and fast way for monetary selection is benefit-cost ratio. So benefit-cost ratio is the most fast way. So it is very important. You simplify, collect the benefit, and divide them into calculate cost. So we need to divide the calculate cost. If we easily simplified to calculate the cost. So this is very important. You have a coefficient for each alternative and you can select the highest coefficient. There are some disadvantages with benefit cost ratio methods. First, it is not so easy to calculate correct amount for benefits and cost. Second, you do not calculate indirect benefits of customer satisfaction. So, this is how we calculate the weighing scoring model. So, this is the example. This is the criteria, percentage, alternative 1, alternative 2, and alternative 3. So, this is how we calculate, and we need to, if you need to evaluate alternatives based on Based on many criteria, the best decision-making tools Based on many criteria, the best decision-making tools you can use is weighing scoring models. You need to follow the next steps. So here is the next steps. Define alternatives. So this is the alternatives. We need to define them, and then define criteria for evaluation. And this is the criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 3. Evaluate the weight of criteria in percentage. So this is the percentage. The fourth one is assign scores for each criteria. This is the scores for each criteria. The alternative 1 score is 76, the alternative 2 is 74, and the alternative 3 is 68. Calculate the scores. So we need to calculate the scores. Here's the scores, and here we need to find. So this is how we calculate the 76. The alternative one is the score is 76, and here we are the 76. We need to put in here. And then the alternative 2, here is the alternative 2. The score is 74. So here are the 70, and then we need to fast forward in here. So the alternative 3 is the score is 68. So the alternative 3 is the first one because that is the most lowest. So the weighing scoring model is an excellent technique when you need to select vendors proposal and when you need to defend a decision to the highest management. As a downside, it is time to consuming. Payback period. One simple but powerful technique. It is a simple calculation, one simple but powerful. If you choose an alternative X and invest Y amount of money, when you are going to have your money back. So the formula is payback period equals cost of project annual cash inflows. D is net present value. The net present value. One of the most important decision-making technique in case you have long-lasting alternatives. So this is the net present value this is the most important when you have a long-lasting alternatives. We all know that dollar now is more than $1 in the future. So net present value calculate what is the current value of the future income or expense. So if you have alternatives that last more than 1 year, net present value came handy. So opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is the benefit of the second best alternative which is not selected. This is not direct expense, but it shows what you miss gaining as a benefit. So this is the decision-making diagram. Here's the example. Choice of vendor 1, vendor 2. So the failure is his probability 30%, and then the impact is 10,000. The cost is 3,000 US dollar. So the success probability 70%, impact 30,000, and then the cost 21,000 US dollar. The vendor 2 failure probability 20%, and then the impact is 12,000. The cost is 2,400 US dollar, and then the success is probability 50%, and then the impact is 25,000, and then the cost is 20,000 US dollar. One of the best investing alternatives. We all know that dollar now is more than $1 in the future. So, net present value calculate what is the current value of the future income or expense. So, if you have alternatives that last more than 1 year, net present value came handy. So, opportunity cost. The opportunity cost is a benefit of the second best alternative, which is not selected. This is not direct expense, but it shows what you miss gaining as a benefit. So this is the decision making diagram. Here's an example. Choice of vendor, vendor 1, vendor 2. So the failure is his probability 30%, and then the impact is 10,000. The cost is 3,000 US dollar. So the success probability 70%, impact 30,000, and then the cost 21,000 US dollar. The vendor 2 failure probability 20%, and then the impact is 12,000. The cost is 2,400 US dollar, and then the success is probability 50%, and then the impact is 25,000, and then the cost is 20,000 US dollar. One of the best example of decision making tools and techniques are decision diagrams. So this is the most making tools. Nice. This is the second one from the last three. Cost ratio. Go. Decision diagram displays all possible alternatives, probability of success and failure. So, as always, there are success and there are failure. And then the impact of the success and failure. The amount of profit or loss based on calculate. We need to calculate the loss. Decision making software. All the above ideas